Last year, my dumbass lost the opportunity to work with the Sidemen. I want you to imagine that, right? You're an editor, you've pretty much had the opportunity of a lifetime to work with the biggest creators in the UK, probably like the most influential in the world. So the guy that manages the content side of things, he DMs me on Twitter and we go back and forth talking about pricing and stuff, and he sends me the trial footage, right? Pretty much everything was going well. It's like, I know my skills are good enough to be working with them, and he even said that my portfolio shows that I'm more than capable of doing it. But then by the end, I never ended up working with them. He just ignored my DM. And I want you to imagine that, right? You've just had the opportunity of a lifetime, something that literally 99% of editors strive to get to. So it's like you're typing away, you're so excited, you're just like watching your PC smiling as you're messaging back and forth with this guy, and a day passes and you're just still waiting for his reply, and another day passes and you're like, hey bro, are we still working together? And the opportunity, you just like see it go away. So it's like those years that you put in working, grinding, improving your skills, reaching out to other people, getting testimonials, all of that down the drain. So now you go back to working with those small creators that, let's be honest, you don't really like working with, but you need a little bit of money. Him ignoring my DM genuinely stung. And the thing is, I could be here and blame him, be like, oh, he shouldn't have ignored my DMs, but bro, looking back at it, I understand completely why. And I think that's the first thing that we're going to bring up of why creators ignore your DMs. Bro, you need to take some responsibility. Literally every editor that I listen to, what do they complain about? It's like, I can't get clients, they don't respond to my DMs, right? Like, you're probably in the same situation. But the thing is, you could be one of two types of people. You're either the person that complains about it, which 99% do, or you could be that 1% that, okay, you get ignored, but you take some responsibility. Because the thing is, whether you like it or not, you're getting ignored, right? So wouldn't it be better for you to actually work on improving it rather than just like complaining all day? Just stop being a pussy and take some responsibility for the fact that maybe you're not providing enough value to be getting a reply. Like those other 99% of editors out there, they're not gonna take any responsibility. All they're gonna say is, oh, woe is me, I'm getting ignored by so many creators, like I wish people respond to me. But they're not gonna be the ones ending up in a year with a full-time income because creators actually value them. It's going to be that 1% that, okay, maybe they're getting ignored now, but they're able to suck it up and be like, okay, there's things I can improve. Because the thing is, this video, what you're watching right now, it's just years of my experience and things that I've messed up and DMs that have never been opened and seen the light of day. It's all that experience put into a package. And the thing is, yeah, you could find value in it, but you're not going to unless you can genuinely tell yourself, okay, creators ignore me because I don't provide enough value to them. You need to understand that the reason creators ignore you isn't because they want to. Like, there's editors that they are responding to. You just need to provide more value to them. And once you get past that first stage of letting go of your ego and understanding that, yeah, it's my fault that I'm not getting responded to, that's when you'll finally start making some progress, bro. And the thing is, a lot of editors think that the value they provide is just their editing. It's more than that, and we'll get into that. So if you're able to do that, you can move on to the second point. So once you're able to have the humility to understand that, the second thing we're going to work on is your reach. So right now you're getting ignored by creators left, right, and center, right? Really ask yourself, how many creators do you get ignored by? Let's say in the last few months. 5? Okay, maybe you've done a bit more. You've been ignored by 10? 50? Okay, most editors don't even reach out to 50, but let's say you got ignored by 100. You think there's no hope, bro? If you want to succeed as an editor, you genuinely have to send thousands of DMs. Because when you're an editor, like, sure, editing is a huge part of the job, it's in the name, like, obviously, but when you first get started, when you don't have consistent clients that are paying you a good amount, bro, outreach is just as hugely important. You have to be able to outreach just as much as you are editing. Because I remember when I first started, right, and you remember those guides that tell you like how to look for clients and stuff, and it would always be things like, oh, go onto YouTubers channels and email them. And the thing is, I would try it, but I would literally send 2, 3, maybe 4 a day. Okay, I'd get a response from one and they asked for my portfolio, and honestly it would never really end anywhere. Looking back at it, bro, I was such a dumbass, because like the thing is, there's not really a big chance of someone responding to an email, right? Even a DM, your chance of someone replying to you is probably 1%, let's be real. So if you're sending out 4 emails and each of them has a 1% chance of you getting them to respond, like, are you really complaining if they're not reaching out to you and you're just never getting any clients? But what happens when suddenly you scale up? You go from 4 emails a day, or maybe even 4 a week, like I've seen some editors do. Suddenly you're doing 15 a day, 20 a day. You're able to reach out to so many more creators, especially on Twitter. I think Twitter's the easiest for this. So imagine you're sending out literally 15, 20 DMs a day and offering your services, bro. So it's like you've sent 140 DMs, and that's in a week. So imagine over months, bro, you've probably sent like 500. What are the chances that one of those creators doesn't talk to you? Like, bro, let's be real, even one is better than what you're getting right now. So I think you'd really value from increasing your reach and prioritizing, as weird as it sounds, quantity over quality. quality. And the thing is, you might not agree with what I'm saying right now. You might be like, oh Malice, it takes too long for me to write all these emails out. Every time I write an email, it takes me 20 minutes, then you gotta respond as well. But the thing is, the reason that you're taking so long to reach out to a single creator, it isn't his fault. It's not the fact that you're doing outreach, it's the fact that you're going about it the wrong way. There's gonna be so many kids that are out there like, no, I think you should write long emails. But the thing is, if that worked, you would have already had the clients you wanted. You wouldn't be watching this right now, right? So that brings us on to our third point, which is, well, respect their time. And when you respect their time, honestly, you respect your own and they respect you as well. Sure, you've heard that when you personalize a message, they're more likely to respond, but honestly, is you increasing your chances of getting a response by 0.05% worth you only sending a couple messages a day? Instead, what we're going to do is, yeah, we're going to personalize the message, but it's like, we're just going to use their name. That's good enough, because even just their name, it builds so much personal connection. Like they talk about in Dale Carnegie's book. This is an amazing book, by the way. He talks about how someone's name is so sweet to them. I think the way he said it was, it's sweeter than any word in any language in the entire world. So that's like one way that you can save your time, so you don't have to keep writing up messages. But the thing is, half the time you save the creator's time as well. And coming from someone that's hired editors as well, like I've had people work under me and stuff, when I put up job posts and stuff, you can imagine how many DMs I get that are just words of text and a whole like 4 paragraphs of detailed information, and I can tell it's copy and paste as well. Like, you're not tricking anyone. Don't make me read all of that, because honestly, I'm not going to. Don't be that editor. Be the guy that's sending concise messages. Okay, say your name. Other than that, just give me your portfolio, bro. Just show me your work. I don't want to see a wall of text. And the fourth thing is, be relatable. Like, be yourself. I remember when I had my friend message me, Danny FX, he had a period where he would literally call me a robot. It was because of the way I spoke to clients and the way I used to tweet. It was like, I used to be very much lack of emotion, and I used to try to be professional. But the thing is, when you try to be professional, you kind of forget that the guy that's on the other side of that message, he's human too. You realize that, right? He's just like you and me as well. Like, we're both the same as that guy. Honestly, you'd value a lot from just being yourself. And of course, that's not to be like, oh, just act like he's your best mate from childhood. I'm not saying to be like, yo bro, what's good? You trying to get a video done? Like, okay, there's that extreme end. You don't want to be there either. You want to find this nice middle balance. Imagine this guy that's giving you formal English sentences and you're just trying to get an editor to vibe with, because honestly, that's what these creators look for. And the last reason why creators ignore your DMs, it's not even a certain thing that you do, but it's more your mindset in general. Most times when we reach out to creators, when we're DMing these guys, what do we feel like? We're almost putting them on a pedestal, right? We almost feel as though we're asking them for something, and sure, we technically are, but there's almost like this power dynamic where we need them, and sure, we do. But imagine you're constantly asking someone for something. How does that make you feel? You feel as though you can't let them go, right? They're giving you something, and what that does, it puts you into such a scarcity mindset where you grab onto anything you can get. Like, you're so scared of reaching out to people in the fear that not only will you mess up, but you'll lose the entire client. And when you feel that power dynamic, you almost go about it in such a fearful way, and you're so scared of not only messing up the outreach and stuff, but losing that entire client. And the thing is, it's not your fault that you're feeling that fear. Even to this day, I still feel that. It's your income on the line, right? That makes us grab onto any client we can get. And that's a huge reason why I told you to start reaching out to so many creators, like 15, 20 a day, because what does that do? It almost gives you like this confidence knowing that you have options, right? And that confidence genuinely just comes across in your conversations, and it's so deeply attractive to creators. And I'm not saying to go about this in like some cocky way, but having that understanding within yourself that, yeah, it would be nice to work with this client that I'm DMing right now, but worst case scenario, I don't end up working with him, I'll just find another. And I know when I first tried getting into this mindset, I remember I was so scared that I DM all these creators, but what if I run out of creators to speak to? Of course, there's not an infinite amount of people on this planet. At a certain point, you're not going to be able to find more creators to reach out to. And that's exactly what I used to think, literally, maybe until like a month ago. Until I met this kid, he like opened up my eyes to how big the YouTube space is. So I want you to imagine that I'm at this Gurdwara. So I'm Muslim, but I went to like the Sikhs' place of worship because I have a few Sikh friends. So it wasn't a religious thing, it was just they wanted to show me around and stuff, right? And I ended up speaking to some little kid because we were all just like joking around and stuff, and some little kid talked to us. So I asked him, oh, what do you want to be when you're older? And the first thing he said, like literally within like a snap of the fingers, he didn't even need to think. He said, I want to be a YouTuber. So I spoke to him a little, and then I remember there was like another group of kids. So I was with my mates, right? And I think it was her niece. And then she came through, and then we had a similar conversation. And bro, there were about 8 kids there. 6 of them wanted to be YouTubers. I want you to think about that. And sure, it's like I'm not going to be working with some 8-year-old, right? But genuinely think about what that means for the future of the YouTube economy. If 75% of the population, 75% is not a small number, right? So not only are they becoming the YouTubers, but they're watching other YouTubers too. A lot of people think that like doctors are the most wanted professions, like dentistry, things like that, but it's not. YouTube has genuinely taken over our world. YouTube is literally the dream job for hundreds of thousands of people. It's the most desired job on the planet. So do you really think that you as an editor with skills that value YouTubers, do you really think that you're not going to find a creator if you tried and had the value to prove it? Because that limiting belief, that thinking that, oh, there's not enough creators out there, there's not enough people that want me, bro. As soon as you have the humility to say, okay, there's creators out there, I just need to provide value to them by doing the things that we spoke about earlier today, like valuing their time. Because you probably started this as a hobby as well, right? When we started as a hobby, bro, we loved this just for the sake of editing. And wouldn't it be such a beautiful thing to literally turn your passion into a full-time income? Like everyone talks about that, follow your passions and do what you love, but look around you, bro. Respectfully, like look at your parents. I know my parents, they never got to go through with their passions, and 99% of people don't. You have an opportunity here to take what you did as a hobby and literally follow your passions. And I think it's something you'd really value from, because I've seen the changes it's had on my life, and it'd be such a beautiful thing to have hundreds of other editors and just help them get to what I've done.